Y'all are well. A lot going on um, in breaking news. Let's start with Austin Drummond. His bond for attempted murder during his time in prison, that bond has been revoked. So when he got out of prison last fall, he had already committed a crime inside of the prison. He was granted a bond, which is Tennessee law, but as of today, that bond has been revoked. Now, to the dirty Harrows. A search was exacted where Mr. Jake was on the search. You can't say when you're dealing with psychopaths what their mindset is. You already know that they're sick and demented to kill a kid. The child is presumed dead. I'm assuming he gave some type of information to allude to the fact that the child is deceased, because what would be the point of being out in the middle of nowhere going like he was trying to help find his own kid? Well, why would he try to find his own kid? Murdered the kid, discarded the kid. Hell no, I'm not going to walk out here in this hot ass heat going through the brush trying to find something that I intentionally discarded. Checkmate. Rebecca. She's sticking to her story that the child was kidnapped. Now, this is where this is a problem, okay? Excuse me. Wow, tilt my crown. Her husband has a lawyer, but it's not Rebecca's lawyer. So this is where you can see that the two are divided. Each are giving different commentary to, hello, Claudia, to law officials. He's talking, saying something, out in the middle of nowhere searching, but yet she is not sharing his lawyer, and she's saying, I'm standing by my jog your memory, because you're acting like you don't have a memory. He's pled guilty to harming a child, which I consider attempted murder, but because a child can't walk, can't talk, can't see, and has a trach in her throat, a little girl. Dropped her on her face allegedly. I say no. I believe there's an allegation about another kid that he abused. Now, you have a whole missing kid by Mr. Jake, Rebecca. You want to say he's a good dad, he wouldn't hurt a baby. Did you all hear that? He wouldn't hurt a baby. She didn't say he would never hurt our child, because that's what you're supposed to say, because one, you're married to him, you two were together at the time before the arrest, and you're the parents of the baby. But instead, she says he wouldn't hurt a baby, as if it belonged to somebody else, as if the child is somebody else's kid that he's being accused of murdering. This is why you always have to listen to the words, because the words are telling. He wouldn't hurt a baby. That a baby is your baby and his baby, meaning our baby. So, Rebecca, what you were supposed to be saying is he wouldn't hurt our child, okay? You didn't say that. So you're already showing distance. They're also saying that he used past tense, should be a unit. But we've learned in some of these cases, one will flip on the other to try to avoid accountability. She's guilty to me, whether she hurt the baby, watched him, he told her after the fact, because does she not know what's going on? They talk in jail. Hey, your husband's out in the field off of I such and such, searching with authorities. What is your version now? Oh, somebody kidnapped my kid. So she's going to stick with the kidnap story. How's that going to work when they've already shown you footage of yourself at in the general area without your kid? Number one, without any suspects assaulting you at your car. People have seen you at the football game without a baby, and yet you're still going to say, I'm looking for my son. Somebody kidnapped my lady. I don't know what type of game you're playing. It ain't going to work. Because see what? You're going to have to explain in court if you still want to stick with this ruse. If your husband killed the kid, discarded the kid, then where were you this entire time? And what were you carrying in this imaginary story to this Big Five store to change a diaper? Well, whose kid was that? That the kidnapper stole that they don't have on camera with you? It's just absolutely ridiculous. She's playing a dirty word game, Rebecca Harros. It's obvious that the husband realizes, okay, they've arrested us. We're not going to get a bond. We're not getting out of here. I'm stuck. Authorities are probably not allowing the two to speak, to talk, to see one another. So he doesn't know what she's saying. He doesn't know what he's saying. They can only get information through those jail walls. The he said, the she said, TV reports, so on and so forth. What happened, blah, blah, blah. This is where I discarded the kid. Rebecca, that's not going to help you. If he's owning ownership of killing the kid, that means you have to have knowledge because one, you're the mother and you lived in the house with Mr. Jake and the said baby. And then there was blood on the floor, carpet. So where were you while all this was going on inside of your own home? I do find it interesting that a neighbor says they only saw her once. Very interesting. This is Cal City vibes to me. Cal City and Summer Wells all wrapped in one. This is some 2.0, 3.0 type of, what has Rebecca been doing all this time that this neighbor never saw her? Desolate area off the highway, barren, desert land, creepy as hell to me. Your choice where you want to live, not my cup of tea, but very, very creepy. Hello, honey, how are you? Yes, Cal City vibes, most definitely. Heebie-jeebies. Probably moved out to this desolate place for a reason, so people wouldn't be in their business. They could do what they want, mistreat their kids, beat up each other, get drunk, get high. Where's the cavalry? Because think about calling the police. Police, sheriff coming to your home. How long is it going to take for these entities to get to you in case you need help? That's why I believe Trezell and Jacqueline moved out there to the desert. We can do what we want. Nobody's going to be around, even though they lived, close proximity to houses. But I still believe they moved way out in the middle of nowhere for a reason. I won't doubt this family is the same. Because we're talking about abused children, 6 months in jail, Mr. Jake. To me, attempted murder all day long because this child has developmental issues that can't be cured unless God decides to perform a miracle. No eyesight, can't walk, can't talk. Trach, terrible way to live. Grace of God, somebody took the child in, a family member, adopted the child, and he gets to walk free after half of a year incarcerated. How's that fair to the child? And this thing was walking around people and children, and now we have a whole kid missing. And when you look at the photographs of that said child, Emmanuel, it looks like maybe something was wrong with the child's eye, chest, on his chest. This is sickening to me, this man and this woman procreating, pretending to be good parents, and now that child is missing. And then we know what he's done in his past. He also caught a previous charge a month ago, gun charges. He was a felon in possession of a firearm. I think he wants to go for bad. He's also registered in the state of California as a probably paraphernalia, so on and so forth. So you topple that in, God forbid he's also a drinker, drugger, bad attitude, nasty attitude, bad temper. It's a recipe for a disaster. Hello, Joy, how are you? Good to see you too. You don't know people. Now, so far, I haven't heard anything else from any other neighbors. I believe they lived off a dead end. A memorial has been set up by people coming through, putting, teddy bears, posters, things like that. And it's creepy. Naturally, I'm sure you've heard of people allegedly breaking in the house. Same old Cal City nonsense. Everybody doing stupid SHIT for a like and a view. Some of you think that's cute. It's not. As somebody said on one of the news reports the other day, why would you want to go in a house where a child was bludgeoned to death? Exactly. A child was murdered in that house and you want to break and macabre people who want to see everything, but breaking it, what it is, it's a crime, breaking and entering. So it doesn't matter that it's the house where they lived, a child allegedly was murdered there, you're still breaking the law. And then it's macabre, you're breaking the law into a house where a child was bludgeoned, and God knows what else they were doing in there illegal and foul. But this just goes to show you how sick people have become. The fascination with true crime and trying to get all the grit and dirt that you can. This is Cal City all over again. Jumping over fences, wanting to film stuff about the house, the garbage can, the trash. For what reason? People need to get it together. But that's the latest developments coming out of California. They have been arraigned. They've pled not guilty. Rebecca's standing on her story that the child was kidnapped. And I don't know what Jake is saying, but he did a search. Or was this just a ruse for Jake to get out of jail, to have something to do? Where is the child? If the child was discarded in that location, could it be the child was dismantled by walk the terrain, and with remains being out there, it's a possibility that wild animals got the remains of the said child. Or the child is not out there in that general locale, that he just took them out there for whatever sick reason to have something to do and draw attention to himself. As somebody said, he acts like he wants to be in charge. And you can best believe when you're dealing with sick people like Jake and Rebecca, they will do anything for attention. They'll battered, I was this, I was that, I couldn't do this, I couldn't go here. You're going to probably hear a lot of crazy nonsense. And I expect that with these two. Neglect, I was held hostage, kidnapped. I suspect to hear all that from her. She may flip, turn the script. But right now, she's advocating for her husband, that he's a good person, good dad, and he wouldn't hurt a baby. The stupidest thing I've heard. He has already hurt babies. He likes to hurt babies. He likes to beat up babies. Your baby is allegedly dead. There's a reason he had law officials out there, ma'am. Stop the nonsense. Just tell the truth about what happened to the kid and where the child can be located. Do the right thing. And I'd like to know if she knew he had a criminal record for child. She knew the truth about him. Why would she be with him? Did he batter her, the black eye? Probably. Then two, could have blacked the eye on purpose to set up this ruse. Did that ever occur to anybody? They may have said, hey, we got to make it look like something happened to you. Allegedly, it was the first of the month that she had the black eye. So I don't know how she got it, if he gave it to her, if it was a setup for this kidnapping ruse. Who the hell knows? But when you're dealing with diabolical minds, you can't. We will find out something about this case that is the truth. Location of the child, if possible. Don't know if that location is the exact location or not. Who the hell knows? But praying for the truth. Praying for the truth. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you all so much for joining me. Once again, Austin Drummond has been, his bond has been revoked on the attempted murder charge. He is still currently incarcerated for the quadruple homicide here in Tennessee. They all seem to be feeding off of one another. He reached out to reporter in Tennessee, in Nashville, Tennessee, to get his version out that they got the wrong guy. I'm assuming he's trying to say this is a retaliation from whomever. He didn't do it, blah, blah, blah. Got these people over here in California, one out helping the police allegedly look for a child, find a child. And then you got the wife saying, oh, my child was kidnapped. I don't know what dirty game these two are playing, But Rebecca, you need to come on down to earth and just tell the truth about what happened to your kid. You're not getting out of that jail. There's nothing that you can do or say to get you out of there. I'm praying that that's not where this is going to go. We'll get another version in a year or 6 months, and she'll start telling us all these horrible things that happened to her, that he did to her, to get favor from 12 members of a jury or a judge. I don't see it working. Because as I said, where there's a problem, if he's already said the child's dead, how is she going to explain the child being kidnapped and the child was already dead and discarded? Maybe she'll play crazy. I don't know. Those are the latest events. Cardi B right now is on trial, civil trial for assault. She assaulted a female security guard many years ago. So that civil suit assault trial is on deck as I speak. Once again, Austin Drummond's bond has been revoked. And those are the latest developments. Follow me on the Newsbreak app. Follow me here on YouTube. And if you'd like to donate to this great network, $BigAngie129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome to the live stream. Please check out my movie of the week. It's from Lifetime. I Won't Let Go. It's a very wild movie of a young woman who's having some marital issues, and she's being pursued by this foreign artist, photographer, who has taken an interest in her, obsessive interest in her, and one thing leads to another. So check it out. It's free on Lifetime. It's also on my community page. Take the polls on my community page and check out the shorts that I just uploaded pertaining to the Harros and also Austin Drummond and Cardi B. Those are the latest developments. And also Mr. Finnegan has pled guilty. Sean Finnegan has pled guilty to child sex crimes, and he's already facing the death penalty here in Tennessee for killing a 35-year-old Caucasian woman. He got that guilty verdict last year, and he is also on Tennessee's death row for her homicide, torture, kidnap, and murder. She was found in a freezer in his house, stand-up freezer, and once police came to the home, he took her out to thaw her out, basically, put her under his bed, and that's where they end up finding the body. Ms. Dishman, she's the one who eventually told authorities about the woman in the freezer, and also she was convicted on that said murder, and also complicit, guilty to the sex crimes of the children that they assaulted, and they videotaped and took pictures as well of the said crimes. So Ms. Dishman, she's also guilty on those said charges of the sex crimes, and also those are the latest developments. I will put up a short pertaining to Mr. Finnegan here in a few minutes after this live stream. But thank you for your time. God bless all of you. Have a wonderful pertaining to the Harros, what do you think about her standing on her story that the child was kidnapped? Because I don't know how she's going to play this out in court, a court of law, if he's already told that he murdered the kid and discarded the kid. Oh, hell, he might have said that she killed the kid. I'm not sure. I don't know. Because I don't put words in his mouth. He may have said she killed the kid and that he discarded the baby. Or, hey, she told me where to find the baby, because that's been mentioned too. He might say, oh, I was kidnapped. But this ain't going to work because he's given a different version. And obviously he's not standing on the child being kidnapped. So if he's not standing on the child being kidnapped, how is she going to keep saying, oh, the child was kidnapped? This isn't going to work. And Rebecca, you should know this. And I'm sure they're talking in the jail and they're telling you, hey, your husband's out there, he's talking, he's giving some type of version. So whatever the hell you're saying, it's not going to jive. And as far as her, being afraid of him, fearing him, that's over with. They're never going to see each other except for in a courtroom, depending on how this plays out. I doubt that they're going to be allowed contact through letters, messaging, video messaging. It's a wrap. So she just needs to tell the damn truth. Save the taxpayers their money, go into the court or talk to the district attorney, give them the goods, get a judgment, sentencing from the judge, and call it a wrap. That's what I would ask. I'd ask the judge, I want to plead this, I'm done. Not guilty. What are you going to say you're not guilty of? When you're the mother of the kid, you're the 2-year-old and this baby. And then just like they're saying, who the hell even knows how old the baby is? 1 minute it's 7 months old, next minute it's 9 months old. Father doesn't even know how old his own damn daughter is. Eerily similar shenanigans, buffoonery, abuse, neglect, DHS, other people raising their kids. Poof, voila, missing child. Summer Wells case, we don't know where she is, live or dead. This case, allegedly dead. County, same thing. One kid gets murdered in Bakersfield, then they go out to Cal City. Poof, voila, months later, that kid goes missing. But let them tell it, oh, somebody kidnapped both babies. When we already know, ain't nobody kidnapping 2 little black boys. I'm saying it. Ain't nobody kidnapping 2 little black boys. Stop the nonsense. Stop the nonsense. One would at least cry being snatched up. Drug. No noise, no nothing. And what did you hear in that case? Same thing like this one. Oh, I never saw any kids playing back there. Oh, I never saw any kids running around in the backyard. Exactly. You didn't see nothing because there was nothing to see. And I doubt she brought those kids outside, Miss Rebecca. Did she ever take a walk down the street, push the babies in strollers? Do they have any pets, dogs? Ever sit outside, sunbathe? Stay woke, I'm woke. Reclusive for a reason. Jealous, possessive husband, possibly. Drunk, drug head, base head, most definitely. That's why the neighbor only saw her one time. He probably made her stay in. She probably did good to go outside to the alleged football game where she made up this ruse that her baby got kidnapped when she went to go get a nose guard, mouth guard, whatever. How sick and pathetic can you be to abuse a baby, kill a baby, lie about a baby being kidnapped, and then use another kid to say, oh, I was going to the store to buy him something. So imagine these killers are around other children, other people's children. That's the world we live in. You don't know people. Thank you for following this network. Welcome all new subscribers, old subscribers, viewers. Thank you so much for your time. God bless all of you. Hello, Ann. This is a terrible story once again. And it's daunting to talk about children being abused, mistreated. And that's what's so baffling is that as quick as you're talking about one story, there's another one easing its way under the door, under the crack to be revealed. So as we're talking about little baby Emmanuel, there's somebody else that we're going to be discussing here in another day or two, that they've abused the kid, neglected the kid, have a alleged kidnap story, missing story, and you have to sit and decide if he or she's telling the truth, how many people know the secret, how many people are involved. And in this case, we know there's more than one involved. And the grandmother, by the way, she moved out of the house. She's gone. So you know she knew too. Bingo card. Okay, so the social worker and the woman, she out west, Oklahoma, going to get her kids weekend visit. She gets murdered, tortured. Her and the social worker. Look how many people are involved in that case. That's a lot of people. And I even said it's probably about 9 or 10 people knew the truth about them being murdered, buried, thrown in a hole. And these people are walking around as so-called Christians, good people, upstanding citizens, business people, and they're holding a secret to murder. So while you're sitting at the baseball shed on the property, in the attic, in the basement, what they're really hot in, little shiny suits and ties, pretty hair, makeup, eyelashes. You don't know people. Oh, plays Xbox all day. Don't interrupt him or you're unalive. Ah, Karen, please. Another thing I mentioned the other day that has not been mentioned either. What do they do for a living? I've not heard of their occupations. I did learn about the other children, so I put a correction in my other video when I asked where are all the 5 children. I learned that they all had different kids by different people. Okay, but what did they do for a living? Because they're living out in the middle of nowhere. They're not near anything. Hot as hell in the desert, summertime. What were their jobs? I've yet to hear she had a job, he had a job. And you remember when we go back to Cal City, neither one of them had a job, but somehow they were able to get a house loan, go buy a house in Cal City, raise all these damn kids, foster care, adoptions, their own biological children, off of what? So here, fast forward, 2025, 2 people living out in the desert, but we have no mention of what their occupations are. If somebody can put it under this video or on my community page, I appreciate it. If you've heard what type of work these 2 did. Because even with a welfare check for 2 babies, it still costs a lot to live in the state of California. Okay? Now, probably cheaper out there in the desert because it's off the beaten path, but you still got to pay water, lights, gas. So was this a family-owned home? Or were they renting a home? Was it a home on HUD, like a voucher? She only paid a certain amount of money towards rent. I don't know. But if you get the information, feel free to put it under this video. I appreciate it. That's my commentary, everybody. Once again, justice for baby Emmanuel, praying that his remains are found. If not, praying that one of these goons will tell us the truth about what has happened to this boy child. Home was in a family trust. Oh, okay. Home was a family trust. So which side of the family was the trust in? Karen. Who's which side of the family? I really want them to get that grandma too, because she's known for some time that that boy was missing. If she was staying with them, living with them, however it went, she knew that baby was missing. And I suspect that other people, if she was on social media or visited other people or other people came out to that house, you got to ask that too. How many people came to the house? How many people came to visit? Did they visit other people? Were they on social media? If they did any of those things, other people know something was amiss with that baby. And I also won't doubt that that baby had developmental problems, either born with some type of deficiency or they did something to that kid because his eyes look strange. And when you look at some of the photos that they have shown, he looks like he's aloof, you know, just like staring off into space, the baby. See, you don't even know if that baby probably could even, that comes to my mind. Could the baby even see? Did the baby have any eye movement? Mumble anything? Made baby sounds off his mouth? I'm wondering all of that. Hopefully somebody can come forward and tell us if the baby had eye movement, any sensory issues, because when you look at the photographs, it looks like there was something wrong with that boy child. Jay has many workers' comp claims. All documents were shown Walmart. Oh, he worked at Walmart. Okay, so he had workers' comp. So he did work. What about her? Do you know if she ever worked anywhere? Many workers' comps. So how can you have a lot of workman comps? You mean by at different companies? He worked for different companies and made claims. No, you don't know that she had a job. Okay, so maybe he was the only one working. Well, I'm just saying it costs to live in California. So I'm trying to figure out what was he doing at Walmart to afford paying a house note or rent, mortgage, or whichsoever. Different companies. Okay, thank you, Karen. So she's saying he worked at different companies claiming workman's comp. Well, That's probably because he didn't want to work, didn't want to carry his weight. I'm going to tell you my assertion of him. I'm trying to hurry up and get off this live. He strikes me as an overgrown baby, whiner, a titty sucker, excuse my language. He sucked his mother's breast, and he would still be probably sucking her breast if she allowed it. Yeah, I'm saying that. Didn't want to work, didn't want to hold his own weight, has a temper, drug, alcohol, substance abuse. Just a whiner crybaby. He's that guy that cries about the world. Life is horrible, life's bad. They did it, she did it, they did it. Beat up a baby, beat up a woman. But when it comes to a guy, he ain't getting ready to beat up no guy. Go get a gun, probably shoot a guy, but he ain't the type that's gonna fight a guy, beat up a guy. He wants to be bad. He wants to go for bad. And you have a lot of men like this. They want to go for bad, but they like beating up kids and women. And that's what I see with him. He's a batterer. He's a crybaby, whiner, and a batterer. And now a murderer. Because what he did to that last little girl, to me, was attempted murder. That's not even aggravated abuse. She can't see, she can't walk or talk. Now, they didn't even say that she couldn't hear. But look at all the things she has wrong with her. That's a lifetime of taking care of another individual. And God has blessed us to see and hear, to walk and talk, if possible. And you want to be able to do all those things. Walk, talk, see, and hear. And to start your young life off not being able to walk and talk, and you can't see, and she also has a trach, that's a terrible way to live. So both of those heathens, including the because I see them all as guilty parties to the murder of baby Emmanuel. Yes, I'm saying that. I do believe the grandmother is complicit as well. He claimed all the same injuries he put on his children in comp claims. What? Good Lord. Like what? He hurt his leg, broke his arm. Girl, what are you saying? Good Lord. See, another one. That's part of that crybaby syndrome as well. Oh, I'm hurt. I'm sick. I don't feel well. My tummy aches. Oh, I fell down the stairs, broke my ankle. Just a crybaby. Whine about everything, mad at the world, bitter, angry. Trust me, I see it every day. You know, over the years, I've shared a lot of stories with you all on this network, personal things I've dealt with, dealing with other people. I see somebody just like this, a whiner, a bum, an abuser, filthy mouth talker. I won't doubt he talks filthy mouth, probably curse, call her nasty names, talks about women like dogs. I know that kind. Trust me. I've had personal dealings with those type of men recently, and nothing shocks me about them. They don't want anything. They don't care about anything. If they do work a job, they're still worthless pieces of shit because they're bums, they're users, substance abusers, all of it. It's all the same to me. He had 3 Xboxes the cops took out, played games all day. Okay. And I used to see all that, Karen. Karen said 3 Xboxes. Well, I didn't see all of that. I haven't watched all the footage of whatever they took out of the house, but I just find it interesting, young people living out there in the middle of nowhere. And I'm gonna tell you something else I've noticed today when I was doing my research. She was older than him, about 9 years older, which I find very interesting. A woman late in age having young children. Now, I understand a lot of women are still having babies in their 40s, even 50s, if they're, able to procreate. But the fact that she's in her early 40s, he's 32, she's, I think, 41, I found that interesting. So I don't know how long they've been dating, but the fact that she would choose a man younger than her, especially in his 30s. We already know that a lot of young men are not mature. I mean, you have men who are 40 and they're not mature, 45, and they're just childish as a 20-year-old. So I found that interesting that she would take up with a man in his 30s or under 30 whenever she met him, make babies with him. Also, he's harmed a child. What do you want with him? So this shows me something going on with her internally, immaturity as well, insecurity as well. She's got some mad issues herself. Hello, Robin. They have been the ones who claim he was 7 months, but if he was born in December, he will be 9 months in September. Well, I did hear, yes, he had a birthday coming up as well. So, wouldn't know how old the child is, honestly, in July. So do you think he's been gone since July? Possibly. Hello, Terrence. Okay, Karen says the birthday is December 21st, or missing since December 21st. I feel as though he's been gone for some reason. What would that reason be, Robin? Let me go back and read that. They have been the ones who 7 months. If he was born in December. You always have to remember now, there's no logical reason to kill a kid, okay? I don't care if the child's developmentally delayed, baby cries all the time, the toddler's falling out, as the doctor would say. The baby's supposed to cry because it can't talk. That's toddlers, they fall out because they're still babies. So there's no reason to kill a kid. 5 years old, 7 years old, don't care. No reason to kill a kid. My focus was, why did they choose August 14th? That was my focus. There's a reason they chose that date. I think perhaps somebody was inquiring about the kid. Maybe somebody kept asking questions. They got nervous. Because if the child's been dead longer than the 14th, they were scared of somebody knocking, such as DHS, police. So let's come up with a story, which she's sticking to that story, but there's a problem with that. The husband is not. So I don't know how she thinks this is going to work out for her. Because they made up the story and in their heads, they know he was not here at 7 months, not us. Well, and that's the thing people have to always remember about others and true crime. It's a version. You don't know how that baby is unless you can find actual birth records. You don't know how it is unless you go by what the mother and father are telling you. So that gets reported to the news. That's all the news has to go on. Homicide, a person missing. That's life. Life is about a version and perception. What you tell me and what I think about what you told me. I either believe you or I don't believe you. You understand? So this case is no different. We have to have verification. The child is actually 7 months or older. Because, as I think back to the photograph of him lying on Jake's chest, I've been saying for the past week to myself, I said, that baby looks bigger. That's what I said. I said, that baby looks bigger. He looks bigger to me. And my mind was saying that. I didn't say it out on a live, but I was thinking that. Maybe he is older than 7 months. I don't know. Yes, they were getting inquiries as to where he was and started making the story up and planning maybe. Said, I saw her mother said she never saw baby Emmanuel. Huh. I wonder how long, Lisa. Hello, Lisa. Why did Jake choose to search where he did for the baby? Well, I don't know, Karen. As some people are saying, as that one lady is saying from New Air, we'll never know. I can't remember where I saw it, though. Okay. It could just be he wanted to get out of that jail. Hey, I ain't want to be in here. I gotta find a way to get the hell out of here. Let me tell him I dropped the baby off of I-60, blah, blah, blah. And for all we know, The baby's not over there. The baby could be dropped off in Oregon, Washington, Northern California. I don't know. Because you always got to remember, to make the case stick, DAs want a body. It helps. Get an autopsy. Let's see how the person died. You ain't got no body. Everything's a hypothesis and my version. I either speak, I don't speak. All they got, video and whatever they texted one another, with friends, family, things like that. There is one beautiful picture of Emmanuel sitting in the car, perfectly healthy with golden sun shining on him. Okay. Was he smaller in that photograph? Do you think he was younger? Like maybe 3 or 4 months old? Does he look like he's smaller in that photograph? Oh, says he's older. Okay. So let me ask you all. It's probably a crazy question, but when do you think the child died? Do you think the child died the month of August? Because like somebody said, for all we know, the child's been dead longer than the month of August. If they've got photographs dating the 3rd of her black eye, for all we know, I said this during a live, he could have beat her up and the baby same day. We don't know. He will have to tell us, she will have to tell us. He beat me up. He also beat up the baby. He was mad, angry, high on dope, blah, 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 drunk, and he went on a tirade, beat us all up. That crossed my mind. He beat her up and the baby same damn day. What is he going to tell us? That he beat them both up, buried the kid, or the baby was gone when she had the black eye, or the baby was alive when she had the black eye? I don't know. Oh, Robin. Thank you, Robin. I appreciate that. Oh, you Brooke's mother. I see the Shelton. You're Brooke's mom. Well, you're welcome to comment anytime, sweetheart. I should thank you for patronizing. And thank you, Brooke, for sending your mom my way. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. God bless you. Yeah, see, this is the scary part. You don't even know how long that baby has been dead. And the first thing I thought of when people started speculating about her eye, I said, well, hell, could it be early August? He was on a tirade. He beat up the mom and beat up the baby too. Finally, they just decided on the 14th to say, hey, this is the day we're going to pick to say this baby is missing because we've got, you don't know if a hospital's been calling, a doctor's been calling. You don't know if something's been wrong with the baby, where they're trying to get in contact with them, sending emails. Hey, we're trying to reach you. Hey, we need a follow-up. Because you got to remember, when you have babies, you have a timeline of doctor's appointments and vaccinations, things like that. So every few months, they want you to come in with your newborns to do shots and checkups and regular exams and stuff. I won't doubt this was a doctor issue, or a nosy Parker had been noticing a missing kid out of photographs, this and that. And let's throw that in there as well. Throwing out all his things, throughout all his photos and baby items. So that means they were done with this kid. Why? As I always say, don't ask why. Ask why not. He had some problems. That's what I think. They didn't want to deal with it. Could be wrong. He's a batterer anyway. So as I always say, it doesn't really matter because he's a beater. And if he beat a baby, he beat her too. The driver's lap looks 7 to 10 months, long eyelashes, smiling. Okay. Well, I haven't seen that picture, Karen. To my recollection, I don't think I've seen that picture. Well, now you're saying 7 to 10 months. He does look like a bigger baby. when where he's lying across Jake's chest. You can see Jake in the background, the glasses. I don't know how old the child is, but I thought he was beating her myself. It's just a thought, I don't know. Scary. It's all scary. All these cases are the same to me. Just redundance of child abuse, neglect, and it's got to stop. This beating of kids, hurting kids, not feeding them, clothing them. You see the case down in Memphis of the black guy was filmed beating up or harming a 1 and 2 year old. They were half dressed. One head was bleeding. Thank God this woman and her mother filmed it and jumped in and took the kids from him. He was arrested. I don't know who he is to the children, why he had those small children with him, but it's scary as hell. I'm a past victim of domestic violence years ago now, but should be a pro at black eyes. So I know she had 2 black eyes and probably a swollen nose at the least, and those eyes are over 2 weeks old. Okay. So you're saying both eyes. I have to look again. 2 eyes blacked. Well, I'm just going to say that could have been the day that baby got the business. Same day she got them damn black eyes. Because that crossed my mind the other day. I said, Queen, what if he was drunk, high, they were having an argument, he was mad, he started beating her up, or maybe he was beating the kid up first, she comes in, she tried to intervene, he blacks her eye, and he kills the kid. Same day. Beat her up, beat up the baby. One was first, one was second. Don't know which order it went. But I won't doubt it could be the same damn day. He beat her up, he killed that kid. Rumor here say it was Jake's brother, Hector's child, who is unaided now. Huh? What, girl? Jake's brother, Hector's child, who is... So what you saying? I'm confused at what you're saying, Karen. So what you saying, they were raising Hector's child? That's not her baby? Lord, I have to do another live. He's dead, died in their home. Okay. Okay, I'm confused. Is it, you're saying it's Hector's baby that they're looking for? So she didn't never have a 7-month-old baby. So you're telling me they were raising somebody else's kid? That's what you're saying? Oh, Lord, I need a drink. It's too early for alcohol. Hector lived at the home with them. She cheated. Oh, you trying to say that's Hector's baby? Because I was about to say that before you said that. Shut your mouth. How is... Girl, you better shut up. See, I try not to do that gossip stuff, but damn. Now, who gonna tap on the spirit box and ask that damn question? I'm dead. Lord have mercy. Where, girl, where you been on Facebook listening to this crazy stuff? She said, I said hearsay. Hello, young, how are you? Well, I ain't touching that with a 10-foot pole. I'm gonna leave that alone. Oh, Satan is busy. That would be something, would it not? The baby belonged to his brother. Oh, are you trying to say, I'm great, thank you. He beating the baby because he knows that's not his child, that that's his brother's child? Could that be a motive? Possibly, if that's where you're going with this. I don't know. That'd be a hell of a defense. You said, yes, they say overdosed, and I never heard it was the brother's kid. I just heard he died in their home. And yes, he is dead. It showed his pics that many have reported he's dead. Overdose. So, okay, I'm confused. So, wait. The baby Emmanuel, is that the one you're saying is overdosed, or we're talking about a whole nother kid? Help me understand. So, hey, I can't hear you all talking. Wait, I can understand what you're saying because when you're typing, I hate texting because you can misunderstand stuff. Yes, they say overdose, and I knew her it was the brother's kid. So who overdosed? Hector? Hector overdosed? Is Hector alive? I'm trying to understand what you're saying. The brother died in the house. Okay, the brother died. Okay. Jesus, well, a man died in her home. Kiki, hey Kiki. Yeah, I got my glasses on. Okay. Well, they got a lot going on. How about that? Jesus, well. So the brother stayed there. He died of an overdose. But that's why I told you all, there's a report that says that Jay is a known drug user. It's in the California database. That's how it was worded in an article I read. So obviously he's had some issues with substances. Yeah, well, see, Robin, it's why you're judged accordingly. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're judged by the company you keep, the people you hang around. You hanging around people that's getting high, doped up, drunk, stay drunk, crunk. People judge you the same. The first thing they're going to say is, well, you don't act like, why are you around them? Now, you start acting like that, then it ain't no surprise to nobody. It's like, well, that's what they do. That's their thing. But like minds, if the brother died of an overdose in somebody else's house, how am I going to not believe you weren't getting high? Because that's your damn house. So he bringing the dope in there and you don't know he gets high. Hell yeah, you know he's getting high because you get high. I won't doubt she's a doper too. She could be a doper as well. They all could be crackheads, meth heads, base heads, whatever. That's why I said he could have been geeked up, doped up the day he blacked her damn eye, because you ain't heard how she blacked her eye. Don't know if she told anybody what happened to her eye. That's probably the same day he went off on that damn kid. He beat them both up. That'd be a crazy scenario. But you've heard it. Men beating up the women and the children simultaneously. Lord have mercy. Well, I'm going to check out here. I'm almost at an hour in. I thank you all for coming in, my new viewers. Miss Robin, thank you. Thank you all for commenting. I'll drop the link. You can come up. You all act like y'all so scared of coming up on the Queen's panel. It's a way for you to express yourself and let the world know how you think instead of just, typing in your comments. Let people hear your voice. You don't have to show yourself. And you just give me your opinion, because I really would like to have the link up so people can hear people's opinions about now they've been arraigned and both have pled not guilty. So now that I sit here and think about that, I guess I really should have spoke more on that during this live, because we're kind of like all over the place. Okay. How is he pleading not guilty if he's out in the field like he's been told something? This is some weird SHIT. So in a way, yeah, I meant what I'm saying to myself in my head. They're both playing mind games. Not just her, but him too. Because you can't plead not guilty, but then the day before you're out in the field like you're looking for your child that you put out there, unless like some reporter said, Jake's going to say, I didn't do it. I didn't put the child out there, but I know where he can be found. Is that where his defense is going? member died of overdose and was buried a few weeks before the baby went missing to much death and child abuse, fetal alcohol abuse, another mother of his child. Yes, I heard that. I wonder why the daughter of Rebecca and Jake lived and Emmanuel died. Well, God blessed her to live, Karen. The cheating makes most sense to me. Okay. So they're both playing a dirty game. Just gonna go ahead and say it. Now that they've gone to court, they've been arraigned. They both have pled not guilty, if you didn't know. So they're both playing a dirty game. I don't see how it's going to work in either one's favor. But, we have seen some crazy outcomes pertaining to people who are involved in crime. And as they always say, the one who speaks first gets the plea deal. So I don't know what version is going to come out next, but it's getting ready to be some bullshit because he's in the field. She's not. That was also a question why she's not out there. She's saying, hey, my baby was kidnapped. I don't know what the hell's going on with Mr. Jake, but I'm sticking with my story. He say, I know my baby was dead, and she told me the baby's out there. One of them is getting ready to flip on the other one or has already. He's probably already flipped on her and said, I didn't kill the kid. She killed the kid. She took the baby out there and told me, or she said it was an accident. And I went on and took the baby out there because I was scared. I love my wife. It's going somewhere crazy. Payback was deadly. Oh, Karen, please. But what's the payback? To the mother killing her kid? I'll kill this kid because you slept with my brother? That's what you're saying? Because the brother, he's dead. Can't pay him back. He don't know what's going on. When did he die? Anybody know when he died? Karen says, not his child. You said not Jake's child or not Hector's child? It's all a hot mess. Even if that's true, good God, that's a hot butter mess. What are you saying, Karen? Not whose child? Whose child is it not? Recently died, not Jake's. Well, the one thing we always have to remember about retribution from the hands of a human, you don't ever have to understand the thought process, why they do what they do. When people get angry and they want to exact revenge, if this is an issue of retribution towards whomever, just an angry man, mad at his, say allegedly, mad at her because she slept around, this baby comes out, it ain't mine, maybe blood work was done, he found out it wasn't his, I don't know. Just going off what you all are putting in the chat, it ain't got to make no sense. But in the end, when you think about it, it doesn't even have to be that it's not Jake's baby. It could be Jake's baby. He already has a criminal record for beating a child down, okay? So therefore, it wouldn't matter if it was Mickey Mouse's baby. He likes to beat up people. He likes to beat up children. And as I've always said, you beating the mama, you beating the baby. You beating the baby, you beating the mama, you beating the girlfriend, you beating the wife. It's all the same. So Jake don't need no reason to beat nobody up. Are y'all woke? Because I'm woke. He's an angry person. Because think about the last child who can't walk and talk, has a trach, can't see. What did she do to get beat down? Exactly. Nothing. So it won't matter in this situation. He likes to beat people up. That's the bottom line. He's a batterer. He's just a batterer. He don't care who you are. He didn't beat. Well, we don't know that, Karen. We don't know that he didn't beat the 2-year-old. He likes beating up kids. Come on now. That whole relationship with the last 7-year-old other children, because they said there was another boy kid he abused too. So 2 over there with other women. Then you got baby Emmanuel missing. He was probably battered. And then the 2-year-old, I won't doubt he was beating the little girl up too. I'm not about to sit here and say he didn't beat that 2-year-old up, because so far they have not come out and said, hey, we did a wellness check. She ain't got no healing bones, whatever. For all I know, he's beating that baby up too. Ain't no way he just picked the one kid and said, oh, I ain't gonna beat this baby. Why not? Or you like beating up kids? Yeah, I won't doubt he beat the 2-year-old up too. He don't like children. And that's what's crazy to me about people who keep having kids. You keep spreading your legs, putting your penis inside of a woman, but you don't want to be a father. She don't want to be a mother. And your kids get here, now you don't want them. Like there's this young girl I met recently, well, young woman. She says, oh, I like being pregnant. I like the fact of being pregnant. And she's like, she nodded, yes. So where I'm going with this is, she doesn't have any of her children in her possession. She uses drugs and she drinks. So she's an alcoholic and a drug head. Are you all following me? She likes the fact of being pregnant. Because what comes with pregnancy? Pregnancy glow, attention, gifts, attention. But when the baby gets here, oh, it's crying, it's moving, it needs a bottle, it needs a diaper change. I gotta carry it around with me. This ain't so much fun. Exactly. Yes, few months of nauseousness, swollen feet, swollen hands, swollen neck, but you get a lot of attention. You've even heard of this. I'm sure there's some type of name for this. I'm happy pregnant, but I ain't too happy once the baby gets here. All of that goes out the window. Because now you got to take care of it. You know, it's just like carrying a doll around. It's cute, it's pretty, change her outfits, change her hair, but I also can put her up when I'm done with her. And I ain't got to pick her back up. Just saying. I don't understand why he keeps making kids. And then the fact that she's got other kids she ain't raising. So this to me is Don and Candace. Same bullshit. Everybody got kids somewhere else. And then they link up, make a kid, kids. And then what happened? One's missing, presumed dead, kind of like Summer. And then your 2-year-old's removed for obvious reasons, foster care, whomever, just like Summer's brothers, they're in foster care. Do you see the similarities? Everybody brought together, universe brings these heathens together. I say it's the devil. Brought these people together, they unified. Mayhem, mayhem, mayhem. Produce these children. They don't ask to be here. They don't ask these people to be their parents. And now all this foolishness and buffoonery these kids got to deal with: alcoholic, drug addict parents, bad attitudes, bad tempers, don't want to feed them, don't want to clothe them, don't want to treat them right, don't want to love on them. It's a real disaster. And that's exactly what you have here. Two misfits got together. Because I won't doubt she was no better than he. This is Summerwell's 2.0 and also Cal City Boys. It's all neatly wrapped into one. Two other cases. They're eerily similar. And it's scary as hell. Because we're talking about small people who didn't ask to be here. And you're subjecting them to your BS because you're messed up, jacked up. And we get it. There's no guidebook in, how to be a good mother, a good father, a perfect parent. People are going to make mistakes. But when you start neglecting your kids and abusing them and bringing all type of filth and trash around them, and you don't want to keep your house clean, you don't want to cook for your kids, you don't want to feed your kids, you're torturing your kids, you're allowing people who have criminal records of abuse, child molestation around your kid. What message are you sending to the universe? You're sending a message to the universe you don't give a fuck. Because you don't give a fuck about yourself. Well, that means you don't fuck about your kid. You ain't gonna care about your kid. You don't care about your damn self. Now, oh, you want a cat, want a dog, want a monkey, you want a billy goat. You ain't treating them right either. Of course not. It's par for the course. You see it all the time. Drugs, alcohol, animals, kids. Filthy house. I won't doubt their house was probably filthy. When I saw that house, I was just looking at it. Oh, all I could think of was Cal City. And I was just like, man, who wants to be out here in the middle of nowhere? You don't even have a 7-Eleven near you. You don't got a Dollar Tree near you or a gas station right near you. Of course, they were off the interstate, of course, but it just didn't look like a place that was happy. That's what I'm trying to say. It didn't look like happy. Now, if somebody could show me a 360 of the neighborhood, because what I saw in the little drone footage was not pleasing to the eye, but it didn't look no more pleasing than where Jacqueline and Trezell live with their children. Just keeping it real. Just didn't look pleasing to the eye. Well, that's all I got, everybody. But they're both playing a dirty game with the system. They both have pled not guilty. So I don't know what they're up to. I don't know if he's blaming Rebecca. Possibly that's where this is going. He's blamed her for killing and possibly disposing the baby, or he may come in and say, well, I disposed the baby after she unalived my son. It's some BS. And her version, the baby was kidnapped. They're getting ready to play this out in court. So I want everybody to think about that. They're both getting ready to play two different versions in court. And it's going to be a matter of who do you believe? And you know how this can end now. They stick to these bullshit stories come trial time. It only takes one person to hang the jury. It only takes one person to feel sorry for either one. Believe either one. You got a damn problem. That's my commentary. Drop your comments below this video. I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. Once again, welcome all new viewers and subscribers. Thank you for your time. Please follow me in the Newsbreak app. I haven't uploaded anything over there in a couple of weeks. To put something new over there for my new fans. I've got a nice little following over there in the Newsbreak app. So download the app on your phone devices. Break app, I appreciate it. I thank you all for listening and following this network. And I don't know what's going to become of this story. I really don't. But somebody's getting ready to, or has implicated the other one. And I did put that on a poll. So take the poll on my community page. Who is going to be the first to flip? And it looks like it's Jake, when everybody thought it was going to be the mother. Even on News Nation, they said that. Oh, I think it's going to be the mother. She fooled everybody. She's holding on to that story. So this is why I always tell you, you don't know people. You assume she was going to be the one to say, he did it, he did it, he did it. She has not. Thank you for your time. You've been listening to the Vault Excel. Talk to you guys later.